What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Elevated Crypto. Now, I hope you're having a good day. Things have been a little wild in crypto recently this past week, right? We've seen Bitcoin and ETH, we've seen a lot of the big projects have a pullback and sort of tumble in price a little bit to the point where some people were alarmed. But we don't get alarmed over here on this channel. We know what that's all about. We're prepared, we're long on crypto, and we know where the space is going. And then we've seen other projects like Dogecoin literally explode onto the scene and have a parabolic run up in the matter of 48 hours. But crypto as a whole is moving forward at a record pace, right? And you don't always see that. You don't see that in your daily news. You don't see that in your local media outlets for the most part. You need to seek that information out for yourself. And even though some things have been on a little bit of a pullback this past week, going forward, I'm here to tell you the future is bright, right? You can't get shaken out of your positions when these sort of things happen, right? If you weren't able to capitalize on the pullback by either selling before or at the start of it and rolling that money back into when you thought the bottom was, that's fine. You could always add to your position during these dips. A lot of times, and this is where people get shaken out, is when these things pull back and they actually drop lower than your entry price. People get nervous and jump out, and then they end up selling at a loss. So always remember, you're never at a loss until you hit that sell button. And most times, just my opinion, not financial advice, but sometimes it's better to add more at a lower price to lower your initial, especially if you believe in the project long term. So even though we had some pullbacks, I'm going to talk to you today about why I think this is going to pick up going forward, how you could look at and see the narrative here through different news headlines. We're going to go across a couple different websites here quick, and then I'm going to circle back to CoinGecko and show you a couple launchpad projects, which I think you should have your eye on during this pullback, because as things progress and move forward, these type of coins, and I'm going to explain to you why, but they could hold a value, and we could also see a great, price increase possibly moving forward. So if you're excited for that type of content, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe. That way you are informed anytime I upload content or go live. That being said, let's just jump right into it today. So we're looking at what's going on here. We see Bitcoin dominance still hovering a little under 50%. We're seeing these ETH gas fees, outrageous, right? And once you see these gas fees get up there, it's almost, inevitable that people will migrate over to the Binance Smart Chain for cheaper trading, right? Because let's face it, especially if you're trading with smaller amounts of money, sometimes these gas fees and surcharges could end up eating up most of the money or the capital that you're trying to use to trade or to gain some coins. So you will see people migrate over there. And when that happens, it's safe to say you see an uptick in BNB. Because just like if you're trading on Uniswap or SushiSwap, which is on the Ethereum blockchain, you use ETH to swap for other coins. Well, over there on the Binance Smart Chain, you're going to use BNB. So once you see people start, pushing over there, the gas fees get high here, it's almost like secondary to expect, well, we're probably going to see a little bit of an increase here on BNB just due to that matter, right? So we're going to take a quick look here. What is trending? Now you see Dogecoin is trending, and a couple coins here which we have talked about on this channel, on my Instagram. If you don't follow me over on Instagram, I highly suggest you do. Elevated Crypto, all one word. I throw up a lot of little buy signals over there, or projects that I find. Sometimes I just it's easier to throw up a quick tweet or something like that about it. But anyways, trending right now on CoinGecko, you have Dogecoin, Rook, which is one we've talked about before, BNB, Archer DAO, another one we've talked about in the past, Cosmos's Atom, Pancake Swap. Again, that's when you see these ETH gas fees get wild. Pancake Swap is sort of like the Uniswap for ETH, Pancake Swap is that for Binance. And then you have Exceed Me, XED. Now, looking at a lot of these prices this past week, you did see things pull back top to bottom, but then you did see some alts grow, right? We've seen Dogecoin, and the run that had was like phenomenal, really was. That coin just took off. Elon Musk had, dropped a tweet. There was a lot of talk about it on social media, and then Doge just erupted. So congrats to the Doge holders. Like, you could really see what some of these coins could do, once they gain the traction, once they gain the popularity. And honestly, it's amazing to watch. And it with it enters, a whole bunch of people that, hey, Doge might have been their first ever crypto purchase. And I'm glad that they had a positive outcome with it, right? Like, because then that's going to further their interest in the crypto space, and that's good for everybody. So it was nice to see that. It was good to see that pump. It was amazing, right? You see Doge talk everywhere, everywhere. Twitter, Instagram. We see Uniswap, starting to correct a little bit. That's another one I love. And as you see these Ethereum gas fees drop, I believe you're going to see a lot of these, pick up a little bit more. You're going to see a little bit more action on them. And even though we've had pullback, I did want to highlight this one article here quick. I'm going to jump to it. No, that'll actually be later on. But even though we did have pullback across, here it is, Uniswap's weekly trade volumes reached a record high of $10 billion. That is a weekly volume, $10 billion. So even though things are in a pullback, you better believe a lot of people are taking advantage of it. And that's what I want to highlight to you. You can't get shaken out by these positions. You can't beat yourself up over a missed sell opportunity. Look at the opportunities that are presented in front of you. That's the only thing you can focus on and change, and learn from that mistake you made, right? So even though prices are down, traders are trading. People are getting ready. We know this is only a little pullback in the big picture, right? Also, looking over on Decrypt today, one thing that jumped out at me, the NFT space, right? Everything lately is NFT, and I think that's going to be a major catalyst moving forward. But there was a couple headlines I wanted to point out here. Again, this was on Decrypt. I will throw some links up below in the description, you know how it goes. But looking at this, a Bitcoin NFT game, Infinite Fleet, raises 7.2 million so far. A Bitcoin NFT game, right? I think that's going to be the next sort of catalyst to boost this up, is once you sort of combine, crypto, NFTs, and gaming, and let the gaming industry, people fail to really realize, but I believe there's like roughly 7 billion people in the world. And if you Google that, this was a while ago I did this, so please don't quote me on it, but out of those 7 billion, then if you Google how many people in the world are gamers, I want to say it's almost half, or the number is close up to there. So imagine you turn all these gamers, unknowingly into crypto. And again, that's just going to help push the mass adoption forward. So that was an NFT thing. Here we have Newegg, which is a big internet shopping outlet for computer parts and accessories, accepting Dogecoin now. So pretty cool, right? Pretty cool to see other businesses stepping forward and saying, look, we'll accept cryptos. And even something like Dogecoin, which, was sort of outside of your top 10 for ever until as of late. So it's cool to see that as something gains popularity, other businesses will sort of go out of their way to accommodate to that niche of people. So that was nice to see. You see this NBA prospect, Jalen Suggs, sells his epic March Madness shot as an NFT. Again, we're seeing NFTs. And this one I thought was pretty cool because it shows another use case for NFTs outside of, a piece of art or, other things like that. You see, IBM is turning patents into NFT. And if you think about it, that would be pretty cool, right? Because just as, an NFT representing a single piece of art, where if you hold that NFT, you are the owner of that art, it would be this very similar to say, well, if you own the NFT, you are the owner of that patent. So I think that's a pretty cool idea. And I'm going to be very intrigued to see where they take that going forward, right? And then scrolling down, one here that threw me off, and I was very excited to actually read and come across, had to do with Tezos. Here it is, gaming giant Ubisoft. Now, we were just talking about the gaming industry and, how if they could sort of collide with crypto and sort of merge, how it could really push crypto further, right? Well, now you have gaming giant Ubisoft joins the Tezos ecosystem as a corporate validator. So pretty cool. I'll link these up below. But again, to show you that, hey, yes, prices may have taken a little bit of a slide. We may have been in a little bit of a dip. but that doesn't mean that, the future of crypto is a bubble itself, right? Adoption is still going forward. Companies are still getting more and more involved in crypto each and every day. So don't get shaken out by these pullbacks. There's a little saying in crypto, when in doubt, zoom out. Look at the big picture, guys, before you make any rash decisions. So now, during this dip, I said we're going to circle back and look at some launchpad options. So I'm just going to scroll through this really quick and sort of hopefully go over what a launchpad is, right? So now you have projects like, let's say, for example, Paid. And what they do is they offer a launchpad, which is basically a way for another project to launch, their coin or their crypto using sort of Paid as a launchpad to do so, using their tech, right? So you have projects like Paid, which not too long ago, I want to say was at like $5, right? We were a little over. Let's just look at the last month. Yeah, well over $5. We were touching 6. So now you look at this little pullback. Wow, 382. It was down to 293, sub $3. Now the thing with these launch pads, a lot of new projects will start and come out off of these launch pads, but for you to be a part of it or to take part or have access to this new project, most of the time you have to hold a certain amount of the launchpad's coin. So I'm going to explain a little bit more about that towards the end, but here's one of them, Paid. Again, I think it's a good option moving forward as things pick back up. This is basically 50% off from where it was. Another good launchpad project, Polka Starter. I'm sure you've heard of polls, right? And that's another one that, hey, if you want to get involved with projects coming out off of Polka Starter, usually you have to hold, say, 1,000 polls. And then sometimes they have pools for people that don't hold polls as well, but these type of coins tend to generally hold their value for that reason, because the people that do get them tend to get them and hold them and use that as an entry to get into newer projects, right? To sort of be the earliest investors into newer projects when they first come out. So a lot of times these don't sort of get, bought and sold as much as you see other cryptos. So Polka Starter, another good one. We'll take a quick look at where that was 30 days. Past 30-day view, and up our high point here, 443, and 311 today. It was 264. Again, significant decrease in it. Good time to jump in. Another one I want to point out real quick, and I'm a fan of this, I'm a fan of the person behind it, Superfarm, and I do want to announce, I did read on Telegram, I'm not sure exactly which channel it was. It might have even actually been Superfarm's announcement channel on Telegram, but they did do a partnership with Cody. So anything Cody has coming out NFT related will be done through Superfarm. And now that's another one too, that when you get involved with things on the Superfarm platform, I believe it's usually you have to hold 1,000 super. And this was a project that I believe this was up over $4 not too long ago, before all this started to dip down. Yeah, we were well up over 450. And now Superfarm, could be had today literally under $2 at some point throughout the day. So again, these are ones to keep your eyes on, because as things start to uptick again, as the masses start to pile in and new projects are starting to pop like popcorn, a lot of these launch pads are going to be where they're taking off from. So it's a good idea to sort of have access to some of these launchpad coins, because they tend to generally hold their value, like I said. If you guys took any value from this content today, please do me a favor, smash that thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next video.